I just want to do this for funsies because I've never done anything like this before. We're going to tap into the person on your mind and any guidance that you might need. Think of that person. Spirit, angels, dear divine. Oof. I don't even want to show you. Reconnection. But are they even worthy of that? Not worthy, but you know what I mean. It feels like whoever you might be thinking of is easily swayed by other people, is what I'm getting. It feels like they might not be a person that thinks for themselves very well. They're easily influenced. When they're around certain people, they fit in those people's molds, is what it feels like. Or, like, what's that? Chameleon to certain people's energies. They don't know how to stand in their own power, but I feel like this person, their higher selves, is somebody that could easily be a leader. There's somebody that could easily, because I feel like this person could be very charismatic, or like if they're out, other people notice them. They give off the energy of an emperor, is what it feels like, just looking at them or interacting with them. It's almost like a full picture type vibe. But I feel like they're also it's this influence. Can you talk to me more about this, Spirit? I feel like there really is this emphasis on health, though, with all these influences, because it doesn't just feel like it's people influencing them. It feels like it's substances. It feels like they could be running from themselves, is what I just heard. Running from this leadership position. They don't know how to stand in their power. So they might mask through certain things, or allow themselves to be super influenced easily. The forgiveness card is at the bottom here, though. And I do feel like this is your guidance from Spirit. Now, again, forgiveness does not equal reconciliation. Let me tell you that 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Forgiveness does not equal reconciliation, okay? That's not what that means. But it does mean that you are a soul that is empathetic enough and compassionate enough to forgive another soul, regardless of what could have went down in this connection. I feel like you're coming to a point in your life where you're realizing that everyone is worthy of forgiveness. And it's because you've stepped into the ability to forgive yourself. What else about this, Spirit? Secret. I just heard what was done in the dark will come to the light. Obstacles. And miracle. What was done in the dark must come to the light. This person is going to have an opportunity to overcome certain obstacles that could lead to their life changing in a miraculous way. But ultimately, I'm seeing that the decision is theirs if they choose to take that opportunity or to face those obstacles in a certain way. Because I feel like we all have free will, and how they can either choose to continue falling back into those old cycles, being easily influenced, suppressing, running, but they have the opportunity right now to change things. Helping hand, this is what I'm saying. I feel like Spirit is giving them an opportunity. There's like a pathway. There's some sort of pathway that they have in their lives currently, that if they decided to handle this certain situation, and it could be the situation with you perhaps, if they decided to make amends, apologize, come in correctly. Hold on. I didn't want to lose that. Then I'm just seeing it's like this getaway, this out, because I feel like they feel very entrapped right now. Dark soul. I feel like there's so much darkness that is happening around them. And it's influencing them to turn into this and to step out of that leadership position. We have fruitful down here. Their lives could be something great. Love and success. They easily have the ability to go down that path and to choose that for themselves, but what will they choose? What will they choose? You know what I was just thinking in my head? I was just going to say we should go to the next part and I'll tap into your energy and how you're feeling. And these two just came up while I was thinking that. Skeptical and negativity. Let's go to the next part. I feel like you don't have a lot of faith in this connection anymore. You don't. And not that you're looking at it in a negative way or a pessimistic way, but I feel like I just heard realistic. I feel like you're looking at it from the lens of you're taking what you're getting. No closure was the closure type energy. And I feel like you know that there's hope for this person, but you're questioning it. You're questioning if they were a good person or not. How is my collective feeling this relationship? This connection, spirit. Sorrow. I feel like you don't let yourself think about this very often, but when you really do sit with it, it brings you a lot of pain. A lot of pain and a lot of sadness. You could feel haunted by this. I'm also seeing like you could be haunted in your dreams by them. Communication in your dreams. I don't know, that's just giving me like dream vibes. Those clouds and the skulls. Feels like you guys are both speaking, communicating telepathically. Reconnection at the bottom of the deck. Again, and the pathway card. This is what I'm saying. They have a choice right now. They're at this crossroads, literally, and they have two paths. They can continue down the path of ego, or they can choose to make right of some situation, to make right of something, because in making right of something, it would offer them up healing in some way. It would offer them up almost like good karma, you know, which could help them get through whatever darkness it is that they're going through. And I feel like maybe deep down you're craving a reconnection in some way, but I also feel like you're afraid of it. Like you're craving it, but you don't want it at the same time because you're afraid of what will come with that. Oh! God. Oh my God. Soulmate and marriage. Fuck. I feel like whatever this was, it had so much potential. It had so much potential. And I feel like you really held on to that for a long time. Maybe a piece of you is still even holding on to that. But this skeptical energy feels so heavy. I feel like, do you even want that with this person anymore, though? Maybe you guys spoke about marriage. Evil eye underneath that. Hi, Ange. Hi, Moo Moo. You okay? I feel like there could be a lot of people that don't want this connection to ever become a thing again. Sorry about that. Watch out, miss. Girlfriend. Back it up. It just feels like there's a lot of weird energies around this connection. Whether it's, oh, well, Duh, what we just talked about in the first part. All that influence. Let's tap into your energy, because I feel like you have something so much better coming for you. But there's just like, it's like the heaviness of this feels inescapable sometimes. What's coming for you though? All-seeing eye. Healing. Oh God. Wow. You're finding yourself and you're finding your purpose. You're finding your power. You're finding your sight. You're finding your true north. You're finding your manifestations. That's what's coming for you. And ultimately, at the end of the day, regardless of how heavy this connection may feel, the weight of it, it doesn't mean that you're bound to it, babe. It doesn't. Maybe there was a lot of investment here. Maybe it, you poured a lot into this. But it does not mean by any means that you are bound to this, because you are a soul that is healing. You are a soul that is on a different journey. You're an old soul. You're a soul that's done this multiple times. And I don't think that in this lifetime you're meant to sacrifice your life, your path to manifestation, your path to your success for this. I'm also getting this message right now coming through of their karma is going to be watching you move on. Damn. I feel this like confusion though. Because a part of you is like, yeah, I do deserve better, but a part of you also really has a lot of love for whatever this is. But I do feel like their karma in this life